Hi, and welcome to another episode of Theories and Thoughts podcast with your hostess Anya. And
Fancy.
I tell you, I never have enough time. It's okay. Hey, Fancy. Hey.
Hey. I got my hat on today because I'm just like, I'm having a bad hair day. So hat it is. I'll probably be in a hat next week too, and until my hair appointment the next day.
How you have a bad hair day with locks?
Uh, when they get to be too nappy,
Okay.
this heat is like killing me down here. It's been hot, really hot in
And
Louisiana.
it's been raining.
Yeah, that too between the heat and the humidity, like it's killing my poor hair.
Oh, hair.
Not even lasting a month.
My little locks too. I mean, my little braids too. I was like, oh, I need something else done in my hair. Well, I got commitment issues when it comes to hairstyle. So and that's why I don't have locks. I would love to have locks, but then I'm gonna be like, oh, I want my hair flat. Oh, I want to do something else to it. I know. It's weird. I'm weird. I'm weird. I'm weird. I'm weird. Anyway, first thing, hi Robert.
Hi, Robert.
We would like to send our condolences to the family of Clarence Williams III. He passed away on the 4th from colon cancer at the age of 81. You will know him from the one that I really remember him from was Tales from the Hood. He was in Sugar Hill. He was in Purple Rain as the father. He was in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. Those are more his notable roles. He was also in The Butler as well. So
And Half Baked too.
and Half Baked. Yeah.
I love Half Baked. That's one of my favorite movies.
Of course you did.
Whatever. I just love Dave Chappelle though too. So.
I don't like Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
I know. I used to date a guy who used to love the Chappelle show. And when I tell you, I used to be like, I'm not watching it. And he used to say, girl, he's the one we were watching all the time. Maybe that's why, because he annoyed me with it.
Oh, yeah. I'm not one of those that like, I don't do, I said I don't watch anything more than once really. So yeah. But my condolences to Mr. Williams' family as well.
My condolences. I don't think he was one that really got his flowers, even though he did a great job, because he scared the hell out of a lot of people. Especially Tales from the Hood, like his eyes, just the way he looked all the time.
I'm not familiar with this Mod Squad show, but I've heard of it. But they were saying that he's like played in it in the 60s, so he's had a really long career as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandy.
You see Fancy playing in her makeup, huh, my Brandy?
I'm trying. I'm supposed to be taking a makeup class with Dylan.
I just want me some lip gloss. I kept saying, oh, I need some lip gloss. I need some lip gloss. So I finally broke down and bought some. Because I keep putting it off because I don't worry about it. I bought two.
Well, at least we were being intentional with our shopping though. So
right. And we always buy from the
Candy Lady Cosmetics.
Listen, my mind just went somewhere else. The Candy Lady Cosmetics. Y'all get into that because that's who we rocking with over here. Hi, Gigi Hill.
Hey.
Lovely. Her hat and Rasta braids. That's not Rasta braids. That's her locks. Oh, that's what they call them?
And not to my knowledge, but thank you. I don't know about that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's saying too that they, like I said, they've gotten too nappy. Maybe that's what Rasta braids are.
Well, maybe I'm the one with the Rasta braids. Maybe that's what we're saying. We want to say congratulations to Tiana Taylor, who makes history as the first Black woman. We still there. First Black people doing stuff. First Black woman to be the sexiest woman alive, and for Maxim. But sis is fine.
She's
sexy. She's sexy. And she's beautiful. And just her whole spirit when you see her. I don't know her personally, but just the vibe that she gives off. And the way people talk about her,
that's what I was going to say. She has good vibes.
And when she did Monica's Monica was like, when she thought about her commitment video, which is one of my favorite songs, commitment, she wanted Tiana to do it. So she's the jack of all kinds of trades. So congratulations, Tiana.
Congratulations. And her girls are so cute. They
They
have
are
such beautiful
so cute.
family.
But how she got that body and she didn't have both of them babies, and I got this body, I ain't had nobody's baby.
Girl. She be working. You could tell she worked fit hard to keep that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we want to say congratulations to Simone Biles, is the first woman to win 7 U.S. championship titles. So, Elle reads, the 5-time Olympian medalist put on a stunning performance that landed her a score of 119.650. Biles won titles in the vault, balance beam, floor, and all-around categories. According to NBC Sports, Biles has won every all-around competition she has entered since 2013. Vice hopes to continue her reign at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics as she aims to win back-to-back Olympic titles. I love her. I actually watched her movie, the movie that they had out about her. You learn so much. I like, in case y'all haven't figured it out, I am a documentary person. Like last night I was watching about the Kims, I was on
North Korea, Kim?
North Korea Kims.
Oh, wow.
I was learning all about them last night. I love learning about people. So
I used to really love that too. Like I used to like to watch what's it, Barbara Walters, like late at night when she would come on and do those interviews.
mm-hmm.
That's really, I think, where my interest in journalism came from, watching her do those interviews as a kid late at night. But
Really?
well, it wasn't too late at night, but it seemed late because I remember I was really small. I had to have been like 4 or 5 or something. But Simone also has, I just wanted to note that she has 4 moves or elements that have been named after her, and they are considered to be like pretty complicated gymnastic moves. And they're named the Biles. Am I saying her name right? Biles?
I think she'll be okay with it.
Okay. Well, it's her last name that they're named after. But I think that that's really cool that she has, created these moves and had them named after her.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her. That is so dope. Speaking of women who's out here doing stuff, I wanted to touch on this, y'all, because something happened this week and I was like, Fancy, we're going to talk about this on this show. So here goes. I met this guy, right? And I'll probably be giving him too much attention, but I'm not saying who he is. If he watching, what's up? Anyway, so he called me masculine. And if you follow me on Facebook, you've seen my post about it. He called me masculine. And I talked to a guy that I dated about it. And he was just like, well, right now, there's like a whole big thing with masculine and femininity in society. And he was just like, I was like, so are you saying that I was masculine? He was like, no, you wasn't demasculating. You didn't demasculate him in your questions and different things. He was just saying that there's such a tug of war with it that some people may even just not be knowing what it is, that a person is not crossing that line per se. Mm-hmm. So I talked to my brother today. My brother was like, you're not masculine, you're just independent. And sometimes, people who don't know it, well, he didn't say this part, but what I'm learning is some men who don't know the difference, they don't understand a woman who has to get it out there, who had to get it out the dirt, because I had to get it out the mud. I've been on my own for 22 years. And when he first told me that and he was speaking to me, I really didn't like the way he was speaking to me because I feel like any man who wants to be with me, he's going to handle me with care. He called me sensitive at one point, but then he said that I demasculated him because I asked did he pay for a movie ticket. Also, right. And also, when he walked into my car, I asked him, did he want me to drive him to his car? Because it was about to start raining. It was after 12. And we live, well, where we were and where I live at is not a black neighborhood. It's more of white. And we know things that go on. So I really was just like, caring. And I did wait until he got to his car and pulled off. Well, I didn't wait till he pulled off. I did wait till he got to his car and turned on his lights before I pulled off, because that's just who I am. But in that, he said I demasculated him. And so today, what came to me was, if you insecure, just say you insecure. And that's not me demasculating him. That's not me trying to say anything so much about him. But it was one of those things that only insecure men, and I'm saying this part, only insecure men will have a problem with a woman who has gotten it out the mud or take offense over little things like that. You know, because I've dealt with guys and didn't deal with them no more, but they was kind of like, well, I paid for this. You gonna pay for this? For the next thing? Like, they've act that way. Or so, and then I'm a caring soul. So me being a caring person, I'm like, you know, let me just make sure you straight, because that's my way of showing that I'm into you. I don't want nothing to happen to you. So when me and him had that conversation, he was like, don't talk to me this way. He was like, it was just so many red flags in our whole conversation that we had after the whole movies and everything that just made me not want to deal with him anymore. And I did message him. The last time I messaged him was on Saturday afternoon, because it was having thunderstorms. We had bad rain, and I was leaving where I was, and I knew he had been outside. I was just like, hey, you know, are you safe at home? I still haven't heard anything back from him. Maybe he felt like that was demasculating too. But I just feel like I'm going to need men to stop taking a woman that's independent and saying that you can't do nothing for her. Jay Burnett was just on the Breakfast Club saying this. He was like, he at first started getting dating women who he had to take care of because he was thinking about his mother. And, you know, getting women that was something like in the character vein as his mother and needing to be taken care of. Just because I'm independent don't mean I don't want to be taken care of. It doesn't mean that I'm masculine. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to demasculate you. Only thing that mean is that I decided to go for it before you got here. I'm 40 years old. I better have something going for myself. I need to have something going for myself, else I'm going to feel a certain way. I'm sorry, Fancy. Go ahead, because you wanted to say something.
No, I'm just listening. Like, I mean, you know, I'm glad of course we didn't talk about this beforehand, so you know how I am. So I'm like, I didn't realize that that's how the story played out or whatever. I didn't really know much about the story at all, other than what you said about him saying that. So I have questions. So he said this after. So first off, I want to know about this movie ticket. Why did you ask? What do you mean? I don't get it.
So he was there waiting for me, and he walked towards the thing, towards for us to walk in. Well, it was after I had said, "Oh, I don't get a hug," and he was like, "Oh, I don't do it." But last time I seen him, he greeted me with a hug. So naturally, that's who I am. I hug people. And so he had a movie ticket in hand. And I was like, did you get mine? That's all I said. I was like, hey, did you get me a ticket? And he was like, of course. So later on, that was on Friday night. Saturday, when we had a conversation, he said that common sense says that he bought my ticket.
Oh, okay.
And when I talked to my brother was like, there's some words that trigger me, and common sense is one of them.
I don't know. He does sound like he is very much in his feelings about something, whoever he is. The fact that just seems so crazy. You know, I would have asked the same thing. Did you give me a ticket? You never know. In this day and age, y'all be sitting around liking all them posts about women paying for shit. Then you wonder why you're asking a question. Like, I don't know. Y'all need to make up y'all mind. I feel, how do you want women to be? I always say that it seems like men want you to be soft, but then, when you're thrown out into the world and there's no one there to help you, what you're shaped and molded into, you can no longer control. But it's like, oh, we want you to be soft, but you threw us out there and made us hard, basically. Or, I'm not gonna say hard, but but I don't know. I'm still kind of in between, because I've had some men think that I am I don't really think I am like an alpha female, but we've been having this conversation lately, and I'm just like, I don't think that. I would like to think feminine, but at the same time, when you have been out here on your own and you've had to make your own way, then yeah, you've picked up traits, or you picked up that level of being aware. You're always trying to make certain that you're straight, because oftentimes nobody else is going to worry about you. And it's so crazy that he was offended by the fact that you did that. But it seems like maybe he's one of those, I'm not going to say a man's man, because I just think that's like overdoing it, like that's being overly sensitive.
He said he was old school, but here's the thing about that. When we met at brunch, and it was a group of us or whatever. When we was at brunch, he was like, he said, he said he don't. I say I like to be pursued. He said he don't chase women. Old school men. So Saturday, you tell me you old school. Old school men used to beg women to be with them. They made songs about it. So if you were old school, you wouldn't have never thought pursuing was chasing. You would have felt like pursuing is pursuing.
Right.
Then he was like, in that conversation too, when we were all talking, he was like, yeah, I need a woman who coming with something, who has her own bag, this, that, and third. And my girlfriend said, I didn't say it, but Kim said, my girl got several bags. She has several bags, and she, this, that, and third. She don't want to take care of nobody, which I don't want to take care of nobody. I do have my own. But I have been told before that men feel like they don't feel like they are needed in my life. Here's the thing, and Jay said that too. I need you for more than financial. And if you can't be more than financial, if financial is the only thing that you coming with, I really can't do nothing with you. Because I need emotional support. Sometimes I just want to lay under you, like lay right on the side of you or something. I need to be, for that. My brother was talking about love languages. So maybe that's a show idea. Maybe we should talk about that
yeah, that'd be good. If we could find some
alpha women, alpha men, and all that. I don't call myself an alpha woman. I don't call myself an independent woman. I call myself the most dependent independent woman I know. Because if I could give it to you and I trust you, here you go, baby.
Okay. Well, I guess I just don't be referring to myself either way. But no, I don't agree with those terms either, nor do I subscribe to being a feminist. So I believe that, our men are important and just as needed. And if nobody else willing to say it, I'm willing to say it.
Okay, me too. I love
it. So we have our guest has made it in the studio. I guess that's how they say it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her in.
Hi.
Hello.
Tonight we have Alaina Fingal. How do I say your last name?
Fingal.
Fingal. Mm-hmm. So I know Alaina because we graduated high school together. Shout out to 35. Fancy don't be fancy like
I was in the club thinking to myself, I bet she went to, then I was trying to remember how to say it. Is it
McDonald 35.
And I still was trying to say it wrong. Okay.
Let me tell you, we doing big things over there from 35. So I wanted to get Alaina on because I see a lot of the organization stuff. So I was like, this will be so good, especially now as we're getting prepared for the second half of the year. So Alaina, please tell our audience about you, who you are, and all those good things, and then we'll get into the interview.
Yes, so I started The Organized Money in 2017, and I basically run a YouTube channel, and like my business is all on helping people plan their life and manage their money. So over on YouTube, I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And basically it is either a finance related video or a time management related video where we are diving into time management topics and money topics that we need to get ourselves together and to adult better. I feel like it's things that we should have learned in high school, that we should have known back then, like taxes and how to manage and how to budget and all of those different things, even how to manage your time that we didn't learn back then. So I took it on and that's what I do. And I've been doing it for 3 years and I absolutely love it. And I can't see myself doing anything else.
Wow. That's really cool. So did you have like what was your background before you began?
So I graduated from Xavier University in accounting, and I worked as an auditor and tax accountant for 8 years. So I did some traveling, a lot. Auditing is a lot of travel. So I worked for a public accounting firm, which took me a lot of different places until I got married and had my first kid. After I had my first daughter, I didn't want to work outside of the home anymore. I really wanted to just be home with her. And the travel was a little too much. So I switched gears and decided that I was going to try and pursue it on like at home. So I was an accountant at first, and then I wrote a book on budgeting in 2017. And then that's when I started the YouTube channel and started to kind of veer off from just the straight accounting path and really started to educate people on money and planning and stuff like that.
Got it.
So what is like one of the number one things that you find that in adulthood people have the most issues with?
So I can say this. I know that a lot of times people are running after money, right? We're always usually running after money. I need to make more. I need to make more money, make more money. But really your top commodity, the thing that you need to manage the most is your time. Because you can lose money. You could lose $500,000 and gain $750,000 all in the same year. But your time, you can't get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. This year, this moment, this time, this second, this hour, as time goes on, you can never get that back. So how you manage your time is so important. What you dedicate your time to, what you spend your time on, what you're thinking about, those dreams that you keep pushing aside and setting aside because you're worried about your 9 to 5 or you're worried about right now. Try and think long term. Think about your overall goals, because most people don't regret how much money they made over their life, but they have regretted how they've spent their time. They have regretted if they've wasted 20 years at a job that they hate, or if they didn't spend enough time with their family. So I always tell people, as you're going through life, make sure you're thinking about how you're spending your time more than anything else. It's your top commodity, even over money.
Well, people say time is money.
Yeah, and it is. It definitely is.
I broke out my planner. Let me tell y'all something. And Fancy knows this. I started buying a planner. It was like 2 years ago. And I still haven't started working in it. I haven't put nothing in it. How do you start how do you start organizing your life? Because seriously, okay, so I put stuff in my phone calendar, but I have this beautiful planner. How do I start? Where do I start?
So I am a big paper planner. I believe that if you write it down, that's the first start to actually making it happen. Now, don't get me wrong. I do use my phone. I will use Google Calendar quick to add in my meetings, my appointments, anything that's coming up that I want to make sure I'm on time for. I definitely use my phone. However, what your planner will do for you is help you to think bigger about your overall dreams, aspirations, and help you manage your time better. So how do you start using it? The very first thing is you got to make sure you pick the right planner for you. Right? So there are a bunch of different planners out there. So I always tell people, how do you actually, how does your day kind of flow? Do you need something that's on the go? Do you work at home? If you work at home, you might want something bigger. Like mine is super big. It's like an 8.5 by 11 planner. But I work from home for the most part. It's always on my desk here. However, if you leave the house a lot, then you may want something portable so that you can take it with you and you can use it while you're out and about, while you're in meetings and stuff like that. The other thing that I like to do is to tell people, plan how you're going to plan. That means think about and plan how you want to use your planner. What is the best benefit that you want out of this planner? What do you want it to do for you? So I like to start there, because with mine, I like to use it in 3 main areas of my life, which is my home life, my business life, and my church life. So I have 3 sections in my planner that are dedicated to those. And I have goals and different things that I want to do in each one of those areas. So those are the type of things that I'm keeping in my planner. And those are the type of things that I may make routines around or think about what's the overall way that I would like to spend my time in those areas. After you decide how you want to use your planner, then the next thing you got to do is start to write in it. And I always tell people to add an alarm to your phone to remind yourself to write in it. Because when you're first starting off doing anything new, it's new, right? So we're not going to think automatically, let me open up my planner at the beginning of the day. For the most part, you have to be reminded to actually check it because nothing is triggering you. There is no trigger. There's no cue to tell you to actually do it. So in the beginning, I used to set my alarm right in the beginning in the morning, right after I got my coffee. My alarm would go off around 7:30. Kids are off to school, and it would be my reminder to sit down and look in my planner and kind of plan out my day. Just think about what I wanted to do today and write all of those things down. And then after a while, I didn't need the alarm. I was automatically running to my planner because the more you use it, the more you're going to start to look for it and need it. And you're going to need it to kind of get through your day. Another thing that you can do if you are not the type of person to write in it all the time is time track. Like, let's say if you feel like you're wasting a lot of time. They say, I don't know what's going on. I don't feel like I have enough time to really do anything. Then track what you've been doing for the next week. Track every time you go on Instagram, every time you turn on the TV, anytime you're at work, just write it down in your planner. And what that does for you at the end of the week is allow you to be able to look back at your planner and see how you spent your time. You can actually evaluate what you could do better in that time. And so those are the different ways. So even if you don't want to use your planner to plan ahead, you can use it to backtrack and just look at how you've planned your time in the past. And then that will help you to plan better for your very next week. You'll do a little bit better in the future.
Wow, those are some awesome ways to use a planner. I'm just like, I have my planner too. I did, but it doesn't. I just bought this one, so it doesn't start until July. But I'm trying to figure out. I think one of my issues might be when sitting down and actually trying to think ahead. Like, should we break it? Maybe break it down in chunks. Like, as far as how far ahead, because I would be just sitting there, and it's just like I would be wasting a lot of time. When you said that you did this at 7:30, and I'm sitting here like, dang. So what time does she start her morning? Because it seems like I would need a lot of time, So do you have any suggestions for that?
So I can say if you do this every single day, if you make it like a daily thing, this will literally take you 5 to 10 minutes. And the morning of, I am only looking at that day. Now, if you want to plan your entire week, you definitely can do that on like a Sunday if you want to spend the afternoon and just kind of look at what's coming up the next week. But I do like to recommend that you don't plan no more than 3 days ahead when it comes to tasks and different things that you have to do. The reason why I kind of tell you don't do the entire week is because it changes so often that usually if you try and plan, like if we're on Sunday and you're trying to plan Thursday, more than likely all of those plans will not be valid, coming on Tuesday or Wednesday. So I like to tell people to plan on Sunday. You can plan Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then when it comes down to Wednesday, you can do Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then just kind of keep a rolling planner, like going along so that you don't feel confined by the things that you've written in your planner. And you don't feel defeated by the to-do list that you may have added that you didn't get a chance to complete. So if you plan like 3 days ahead and you just keep this rolling list, it will help you, make you feel like you're more connected to the plans that you've actually written down and that you can actually complete them.
Got it.
I'll probably be the Sunday planner. So I can start organizing because I keep saying with all my businesses, my biggest challenge is organization. And then I work 2 jobs too, along with having 5 or 6 businesses. And it's hard to stay consistent. But what you're saying makes sense. Like I could get up a little while early in the mornings and check my list. But if I start on Sunday and plan out, okay, these are the tasks that I'm gonna do for my business and actually write it down, that'll work. I know my planner, it's an Erin
Condren.
Yeah.
Erin Condren. I used to have that one.
What I love was that I was able to, I did it hour by hour.
Mm-hmm.
I did hour by hour because I was like, okay, sometimes I just need, I need to know what I'm doing at 10 o'clock. And
that is my favorite way to plan. It is the one that I recommend the most, is to plan by hour, because when you plan that way, you're able to really kind of keep track of how your day is going, and you're able to write down all your appointments, all your meetings, and I even write my to-dos on the actual planner. So I won't write down a to-do list. 9 times out of 10, when I write down my to-dos, it's actually next to a time that I'm planning on completing that to-do list.
I like that. Because I do a to-do list, but I don't put a time next to it.
Yeah, I'm still, you saw my face. I was like, because that seems like the hardest thing. I heard someone say, when you control your calendar, you control your fate. And I was like, man, that's so deep. And they were just saying like putting, tasks 2 times that worked better, but I just don't know. I don't know if I had a discipline to do that. It seems like I was on there.
Another way that you can do it, let's say, okay, because I know sometimes when I'm talking to people, they say, oh, that's too confining. I feel like I can't plan my day by the minute. That's too much. Then try and do a block of time.
That's what I was thinking.
I'll say, okay, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., I'm going to do these 5 things, right? Not trying to say, okay, exactly at 5 o'clock I'm doing laundry and exactly at 5:30 I'm doing this. But if that's too much, then just try and say, okay, between this time, I'm just going to try and complete these things. No matter when it happens, it's just kind of during this block of time. And that gives you a little bit more freedom and a little bit more flexibility to where you don't feel like you have to plan every minute of your day.
And plus, I think once we start using it, because I started using my other one towards the end of the year, I started enjoying it, and I get on fancy nerves with it because when I tell you, I think last year around this time I started looking for a planner, and like I said, didn't use it. Well, I haven't used it the first part of the year, and I always seem to wait. But so everybody listen. She just said that one size don't fit all. So if you can do hourly, do hourly. If you can do blocks, do blocks. For me, it's the hourly because I'm like, okay, at this time, and then the more and more you start using it, I think the more and more disciplined you'll be. Yes, Jessica, Ms. Jessica, this will be available for replay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and if anyone is looking for a planner, let's say you're trying to figure out what's out there, what's available. So I currently use Happy Planner. It's one of my favorites, mainly because they use disc and it's kind of customizable. Erin Condren is another great planner line, but go to YouTube. There's Passion Planners, there's Happy Planners, there's Erin Condren, there's Moxie Life. There's so many different kinds out there. And they have, between YouTube and Google, you literally can search and figure out what's best for you. If you say, you know what, I'm too confined, I don't like to feel bound up by my planner, then you can definitely look for a vertical style planner where like Arnya said, it's more blocks. It's block style. They have it to where it's horizontal style. They have it to where you have an hourly planner. They even have it to where you can like It's called a dashboard style, where it's just a couple of lines on each day of the week, right? So you can kind of just do that list thing where you're just listing everything out, and you don't want to have any times on your planner, but you're just listing it all out. You can do that as well. There's so many options out there. I always tell people, if you really, really want to see, feel, go to the store, go to Michael's, go to Office Depot, and look in their planner sections. Just browse like you would browse for clothes, and think about how you would use the planner. Don't think about how pretty the planner is, because a lot of times we pick planners, but when we pick planners like that, we're picking them based on how pretty they are, but we're not picking them based on how we're actually going to use them. And then they sit there on the desk and they're super pretty, but we never pick them up. So it's better to like look at a planner and imagine exactly how you're going to use this. Okay, as soon as I open this, I would put my work stuff here. I would put my home stuff here. I might color code. I love to color code when it comes to different areas of my life. And maybe I'll put, my church stuff over here, my faith planning here. Like, you can literally visualize how you're going to use the entire planner, and that will make you more likely to actually use it.
Okay.
Well, I want to acknowledge, I think maybe this is your husband, Tori.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he said he uses his favorite planner is the Organized Money Budget Planner. So you have a planner as well?
I do. He's my number one supporter, y'all. He's the best. But so I have a budget planner that I created because I could not find a planner that would fit my financial life. That I was struggling really for a long time, trying to find something that would fit my financial life, because I wanted to be able to plan by paycheck. I wanted to be able to write out all of the different savings goals that I had and the debt trackers. I wanted to have all of that, and I couldn't find one. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to create it. I'm going to make it. So about 2 years ago, I decided to launch my own budget planner. And in this planner, it has everything that I wanted in a budget planner. And then I attached it with a course that kind of walks people through how to actually use the planner and how to start budgeting on a consistent basis. And it's called Budget on Paper. So it's both of them. It's the course and the planner. And when you get them together, you basically can operate your entire budget for a year.
I'm getting that. Because I can always use it. But I mean, I have my own budgeting system, but if there's something else out there that's a little bit better, because I just pretty much write out, I know what bills got to get paid, and I just pay them all at one time.
Yep. And so, and even with this, it's like how we talk about planning routines. I talk a lot about routines too, like planning routines and money routines, because routines are the best way to kind of get to the next level when it comes down to your financial goals and even your life goals, the different things that you want to do in business. You set a routine to it and you do it every single day, and it's definitely going to happen.
Right.
And that's a word right there. Because I've been complaining, because I've been saying I don't feel like I have a routine anymore. I used to have one, but lately I just feel like I'm all over the place. And even with planning, and I'm just thinking like I'm one of those that I wish I knew what all I was going to do in a day. And I make lists, but I don't know. It still seems like there's always, I know they say that you shouldn't be reactive, but that's oftentimes how I feel like I'm being, because there's still so much other stuff that's going to come through. It seems like, and I don't know if it's maybe just with my line of work, you have your YouTube channel. So you work in media as well then because of that. So I don't know. I mean, do you have any advice for that? It's just really starting to get to me.
I know that in which this actually requires a change of mindset with boundaries, because a lot of times with us being digital creators, people feel like they can just jump in and they'll call and they'll take your time, right? You get those unexpected phone calls. You have just meetings that kind of come up, and like sometimes you do have to stop, and sometimes you do have to, attend to something else. But a lot of times it's something that's unscheduled, that's unplanned, that's trying to just take over your time. So usually what I'll do in those moments, if I am working on something that's a goal of mine. So I have, of course, everyday mundane tasks. If I'm working on something that's everyday and mundane, then I might be able to push that aside and still talk on the phone. But if it's one of my top 3, so I have top three every single day, top 3 priorities that you are really important to you. So things like filming YouTube videos are important to me because they aid in my income, right? So I prioritize that over everything else. So if someone calls and I'm filming, I'll say, hey, can we schedule this? Is this something that's super important? If not, can we schedule this? Can I put you in my planner at another time? And I will usually push those calls to Tuesday or Thursday. So usually if it's a Tuesday or a Thursday, those are like my meeting days. And those are the days that I try and do all my meetings. And then if it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, those are the days that I'm filming. But since I have that kind of like structure, that batch time of what's going to happen when, then I can easily say, hey, can we move this to a day that I would normally be able to talk? And then if we can't, then I'll make some adjustments there. But it does take some time to, especially if you work for yourself, because I know with me working for myself, a lot of times people feel like, oh, you have time. You can just talk to me because you work for yourself. So we could just talk on the phone. I'm like, well, no, because I still have deadlines. They're just my own personal deadlines. But my deadlines to me are still very important. And your deadlines to you are still very important. And so you still need to set up those boundaries by just saying, hey, can we move this to, I'm in the middle of something right now, but can we schedule this Tuesday at 1? I'm going to lock you down in my planner. I'll send you a calendar invite. We're good to go. And once you get into the habit of doing things like that, then you'll find yourself with that time to prioritize the goals that you want during that time. If you wanted to write a book, I know when I was writing my book, that was a really big priority for me. And I gave myself 3 months to finish it. And so I would say, okay, this is my block. This is my writing time. And if anyone called during that time, hey, can I call you right back? Is this something important? Because I have this scheduled time that I have to do a certain amount of, pages in order to meet my deadline. So I think that the first part is considering what do you want? What's your overall big goals that you want to achieve that you need to set up those blocks for? And then figuring out, okay, if someone interrupts this, when am I going to move them to? How can I rearrange it so that I can have an answer anytime anyone tries to call you and interrupt that time?
I love the answer. That's true. Because I try not to put anything on Tuesdays because I know I'm already working full time. And once I get off, I need to debrief and get ready for this. So I'm like, unless I have to have it done on a Tuesday, it's not going to get done on a Tuesday. So I've allowed it Mondays to be like a meeting day for me now because I'm like, okay, and now it's about to be actually Mondays and Wednesdays. So I I'm with you. So I'm almost trying to get organized a little bit because it's so funny because me and Fancy have been talking about this. Like I'm like, Fancy, I need to get organized. It's not, I could use an intern, but I really need to get organized before I get a mentor, before I get anything, so I can just be able to tell people exactly what is needed and how to, what to do and everything. So that's awesome.
And even for your moms out there, I've heard it. I have kids too. I have 2 daughters. And even with them, we have developed a system to where, usually I will try my best to stop working at 5, unless I have if I have something coming up or an interview like today, then me and my husband will talk. So my husband, he's in the front, he's watching the kids, or my mom, I'll schedule time with my mom. And that's the thing. A lot of times as parents, we feel as though we shouldn't ask for help unless it's something that we absolutely have to do or go to. But if it's time that you have scheduled to work on a goal and you have help, ask for that help. If you want to work on a YouTube channel or write a book or do something and your parents are willing to help you out and watch the kids, then pick out 2 days out of the week where they're by your parents and you can write. So it's just figuring out how you're going to rearrange that time to work best for you and maximize it as much as possible during that time. So you can get a lot done in 2 hours if it's focused and uninterrupted time. You just have to, once you figure out your schedule and you set that bar, set that time frame, then you can get a lot done in that time.
Your husband said, and he's also watching Facebook.
Yeah.
That is so sweet. So, Facebook, do you have anything else?
No.
Is there anything that we did not touch on that you want to make sure that our audience know about?
Yeah, okay, so I would love for them to follow me on Instagram and on YouTube. It's at The Organized Money. And of course, I do post a schedule every single Sunday. I post and I will list out all of the content that I'm sharing that week. So usually it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We do at least 2 money videos and a planning type video so that you are getting time management and money related topics every single week. And so I would love for you to follow me there and follow my journey. I am sure I have a bunch of playlists that will help you get started. I have an Adulting 101 YouTube playlist that if you're just brand new to all of this, you can start there and go from there.
Your husband said the Budget on Paper course.
Yes. Oh, the Budget on Paper course. If you are interested in that, you can definitely head over to, it's on Teachable, but if you head over to my Instagram and click the link in the bio, you can see the links to all of the different things that I have, my YouTube channel, my book club, all of the different links that I have on there, and the Budget on Paper course. And of course, the Etsy shop, which has all of my products as well.
Okay. As you guys see, it's scrolling beneath.
Oh, thanks.
No, we have it scrolling.
Oh, thank you.
This has been a lot of, it's honestly, I think where we are in life, I'm happy I scheduled you today because we've been really, really talking about organizing, and you've given so much knowledge, girl, because sis right here, and I told you, I have the planner. And my best friend would be like, you bought that planner for all that money. Because, I'll buy something expensive. And she said, you don't even use it. Why are you buying it? And I'm like, but I need to start. I want to use the stickers and the highlighters. I see you have a highlighted calendar right behind you.
I do. That's my goal calendar. So I like to list out all the different goals that I have in the different areas, and I put them on my board. And as you can see, it has like the year, and I do it every single year to every time I walk in this office, I'm like, I'm going to do these things. This is a constant reminder. So I keep it right there every year.
Y'all get at her. Y'all make sure y'all follow her, subscribe to her YouTube, and go to her website and get her products. I know I am. I'm about to go look at some stuff now. Soon as we because I need that budget planner. I'm gonna look at it first, and then I'm probably gonna get the budget on paper course. But I like to play with stuff myself at first. I don't know. Thank you so much for joining us. Another Ron Eagle. Fancy getting tired of these Ron Eagles on here, but we have a lot of knowledge. Nah, she's not. I always mess with her and say that, but she's not. She's I was like, well, I know somebody who does this. We should have them. She's like, So thank you so much. And it was good to see you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That was good, honey. So I think I'm gonna start. Well, I might start tomorrow. So I might do Sundays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Sundays and Wednesdays and plan out the rest of the week. But I mean, of course, on the bigger month thing, if I have stuff, I'll put it there. But that was a lot of good knowledge, and I am gonna get the budget, because right now I just write down what I gotta pay, and what I'm putting in savings and stuff. But I want to do it more organized.
I have yet to really look at anything budgeting wise. I just kind of, because I've shared my story. So when you ain't got no money, there's nothing really to have to worry about budgeting until you get something. So now I'm trying to learn different things. So I would definitely be interested in the budgeting planner as well. So yeah, I already have the site pulled up, so I'm gonna have to go check that out now. Once
I know, but like, what I want and everything. I like my little planner. I think I am gonna start using it. I think once I start using it, I'll really get into it.
I like the fact that she acknowledged that she puts her appointments that she has to be at, like, those sort of things in her phone, because I've just really started using my phone. Then I'm like, okay, now we're talking about a planner. So like, how am I going to do both? But I do believe when we write things out, we bring them into fruition. So
write the vision, make it plain. She's a minister as well. So, I put everything in this planner, in this phone. Like, I put my bills so I know when payday is and which bills I'm gonna pay with that check. And I do that with my phone, and I put appointments in my phone as well. And I did like the fact that she wasn't just like, oh, you shouldn't use your phone, use the planner. She wasn't a snob about it. So I loved it. That's what I loved about it. And she gave really, really, really good knowledge. And I'm going to subscribe. I think I'm already subscribed, but if not, I'm going to subscribe to the YouTube just so I can, go in and just see different things in case I need it. I mean, this is what we're here for, y'all. We bring resources on, not just for us, but for you guys as well, just as knowledge, to help us out. We struggling through life, got it from the mud and still in the mud because we don't want to use the resources that's there. So anyway, transitioning. It is my 1-year anniversary for Miss Things Boutique. Yesterday was actually the 1-year anniversary. Thank God for Time Hop, because Time Hop reminded me. Because clearly I did not have it in my phone. I put it in my phone yesterday. So I have a 25% sale going on all items. That is on the website, 25% off everything. So go there and purchase. I have, I have the lady CEO shirt, the Define shirt is my top seller. Like, so many people buy that. Remember, I have the Limitless collection. I actually just have a journal. It's a journal. So, you can schedule time to journal. Schedule your time to journal, and then use the journal, the Limitless journal, and remember that it's limitless, that you're limitless. As always, you can find me on my link tree with Lady CEO. I am on Clubhouse now with and I am Lady CEO, Lady with an I. I haven't listened to nothing yet. I messaged.
Oh, look, you said, okay, I'm going to do that. So I really believed you. And then I saw something else the other day, and I was like, I should send this to Arnya. Maybe it'll help her, on Clubhouse. And then I was like, well, she said she was going to do that the other day. So I figured you were good. So I didn't send it to you.
I'm about to tell y'all. I text Fancy, was like, Fancy, where do I start? I'm always like, where do I start? I told y'all I'm the most independent person you know. I was like, Fancy, where I start? What do I find? She was like, just find
your interest.
My interest. And I didn't. I might today. I've been listening to Still in Pajamas. That's two girls that went to high school with me. That's their podcast. And when I want something light, because they are so silly. They are so silly. Allie and Nikki are so silly. And girl, the stuff that Nikki says, That's my girl. There, here's my girl. And we're friends on Facebook, of course. I hear her up in her messenger and be like, girl, did you really say that? It's just funny. So when I want something light, I listen to that. Of course, I listen to us and I listen to Jamel Hill. So whenever I'm in a car, most of the time, if the music is not on, well, I don't have the music on when, if I just want silence, I just want silence. Other than that, I might have a podcast on or something. So I'm about to go drop off something. So maybe I'll put on Clubhouse then just to check it out, see what it's about.
Well, have fun. I'm not gonna say over it, but I just got to the point where, as I said, like I didn't want to keep hearing about everybody having all this money and I wasn't getting money. So I'm glad that I have been having some blessings come through and things like the business has been going well. So now I kind of feel like, okay, I can sit and listen to y'all. But when you hungry, you do not want to sit around here. People talk about how they're eating so damn well. Because that's kind of how
good.
That's how they used to kind of be. But also, I just realized too, one thing, I don't want to just sit and hear other people talk. Like if I'm in a place, I like to be a part of the conversation. Mm-hmm. And it started to feel like, it was getting harder to be a part of the conversation. So I like to go into rooms that have smaller amounts of people where it's often actually good to say something. Yeah. So, but yeah, those are just some Clubhouse tips. I'm trying to think of what we have going on. I don't think I've mentioned the fact that we are hosting our Bosses Link Up event. It's going to be June 24th. It's going to be virtual, so it'll be online. We're going to have Candy Matthews of the Networking Queen. She's going to be the hostess, and we've partnered with the LM Experience and Lakeisha Mosley for this event. So we've been circulating the flyer. The event is free. Tickets are on Eventbrite. And there's a little bit more about it on the swaggers.net website if you all want to go read a little bit, just something else. And then we've also been sharing some networking tips to go along with it. And we do have vendor space available. So it's virtual vending. Those are $30 tables, but you do get an actual virtual table with a chair and local representation. So it's going to be really cool the way we're setting it up. I'm praying that it goes well. This is our first time doing an event in a while. And this is actually supposed to be a series, but I started with just this one, just the first kind of see how it goes and see how I want to tweak things. We also are looking for in-kind sponsors. If anybody would like to donate a product to go in our, to give away as a prize. So we have the event. Magazines will be in this week.
We have a virtual magazine too, the online one that you have.
We have wait, look, I'm trying to remember. Okay, so we're also preparing for our digital issue, which will be out next month. So you all can, if you're interested in being in the magazine, then you can contact us at advertise@swaggers.net for that. And this is a copy of our latest travel book. These are like the mini magazines, so they're the customized ones. And we have some that, well, of course, we sent them to the cover story, which is Miss Nikki Latrice, or Nikki Latrice. And also we sent some to the Dallas Business Lounge. So they'll have some at one of their upcoming events. So we're excited about that. And
the digital, you said that. Go ahead.
Huh? What'd you say?
I was saying the digital issue, but you just said that.
Yeah, the digital issue. And I am getting my products together for my Fancy Goddess Market. I'm waiting on my logo to come in. So I want you all to give your input. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on myself. But
the link up. What's the event on the 24th?
The Bosses Link Up event. What is the name?
Yeah,
it's Bosses Link Up, and it's on Eventbrite. But let me just drop the link right here. I didn't think to put it on the thing, but just a second.
And while she's doing that, I am selling lashes now. You can go to on Facebook is Fire Lashes, Fire spelled with a Y. Lashes by Lady CEO.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I knew you were selling lashes. I didn't know that was the name you were going with. I didn't know.
These are selfies. I like my lashes. I'm keeping them. I started really wearing lashes when we had the mask because I always like lippies. And I was like, I can't show my lippies, so I gotta show my eyes, do something with my eyes. So they're magnetic.
I hadn't thought of that. I'm sorry it's taking forever. I have a new computer and I'm trying to get it's a Mac, so I'm trying to remember how to copy and paste stuff. So I just got it. This is Bosses Link Up. There you go, there, Miss Jessica. It's right there. So the tickets are free, and you can register. So far, we've had a good response, and I'm eager to see how it's gonna go. Why it said an error occurred? Wait a minute, then try
It
again.
went on.
It did? Okay.
I'm looking at it. Also,
Okay.
remember that we do have the Theories and Thoughts TV show deep dive that is on Exposure Network. Go in, make sure you go in. I have on my page the ways how to, and I put it on Swagger's Instagram, I think, how to go in and find it. It's free. It's a free app. It's free to find. We have some things that we're working on with the deep dive. We're about to record our second and our third season. So if you would like to be a vendor, not vendor, if you would like to advertise, if you'd like to sponsor, make sure you go to Theories and Thoughts at Lady CEO, lady with an I, CEO.com, and reach out. Also, if you have a topic you would like to be a guest or anything like that, any suggestions, you can also send them to Theories and Thoughts at ladyceo.com. That's all I have right now. Fancy, you have anything?
No, look, we ain't gave a lot.
Yes, we did give a lot. So we'll see y'all next time. Next week we have someone who'll be talking about fatherhood, because next week is Father's Day. So he'll be talking about being a father, being a Black father and a Black man. So I can't pronounce his name. Is it Lyric? Did you see how you spelled it? It's Loreco. I don't know. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, sir. We'll find out when he comes in. But he'll be speaking on fatherhood next week. We will see y'all then.
All right. Well, wait, my new computer allows me to wave and y'all see it. I just gotta recognize it. This is, look, we've been doing this almost two years. So, okay, bye y'all.